Alright, well, kind of found a flashlight. And we'll bring you guys over here. Probably can't see, but so it doesn't look like the cam gear has anything really wrong with it, which is nice. The only thing that sucks is, again, as you can see, based on that shaft gear here on the synchronizer, that thing is done. Basically, this is a softer metal than the cam gear itself, so think of this almost like a sacrificial anode. Now there's probably shavings at the bottom. Man, that is not great. Unfortunately, this is my only operable vehicle right now. Crap. Well, that's what happens though. I mean, you figure this is probably one of the original units. It has 200 and possibly 263,000 miles on it. This could be the original. And yeah, I mean, you drive a vehicle that's over 20 years old, original parts or old and worn out parts, stuff like this happens. So we'll just see what happens. Man, that thing is trashed. At least we know what our problem is. Okay, next step is we need to pull the plugs because we're gonna have to put the engine over on top dead center manually. And by doing so, you're going to have to pull the spark plugs out because you do not want compression on anything as you're trying to turn it over. So let's zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, out. Why is this thing what technology today? All right, whatever. Oh, that was not awesome. So I'm just going to pull our plugs out of our boots. Of course, I can't find my actual spark plug wire pullers. So I'm just gingerly going to use set of needle nose pliers. These are pre-labeled. If you guys notice, even though this is a 2000, I'm actually running the K suspension spark plug module, which is actually a pretty good upgrade. You don't have that long coil pack. Basically running individual plug wires. I've been really happy with it. And guys, you do not need to be aggressive with that because you don't want to tear your boots. Again, these are all labeled. 3. These out of the way. Today might have gotten just really, really expensive. Obviously, as we know, we do not want oil, or excuse me, metal shavings in our oil. So yeah, might be a more expensive weekend. It sucks too that I just sent my heads off for my F-150. So that thing is down. This thing might be down. I don't have the luxury of working from home. So yeah, might have to go vehicle shopping this weekend. Pick something up inexpensive for a little bit because I don't have the time or the funding to rebuild 2 engines at the same time. But if anyone watches this and wants to donate to the wrench ops Build Jeeps Better Fund, that would be great. Okay, well, we held all of our wires off. Go ahead and pull the spark plugs. just standard plugs. These are 5/8. So we'll go ahead and pull number 1. Still mind-blowing on that gear though. That's no good. Number 1 plug is always fun to get to on these. The other thing too, guys, when you're doing plugs as far as removal, you want to make sure the engine's at least a little warm. This thing is still warm from earlier today. You never want to try to break the plugs loose when the engine is cold. Just want it barely heated. You definitely don't want to crack a plug in the head. Break these loose. And there goes that one. Fortunately, he fell to the ground. Check the gap on that. Man, this thing's been running great all week too after doing the injectors. It's been idling great, running great. And today it said, I'm done. Fun one to get to. Okay. All our plugs are loose. Could always be worse though. Somewhat disheartening. It is what it is. Unplug. It's been a while since we've done a plug change. Actually, they look pretty good. Not too terribly bad. These are just Denso plugs. right, guys, definitely let me know what you want to see more of on the channel. There's a lot of other people that make tons of content. A little background on me. I've been working on vehicles probably, I don't know, since I've been 9-10 years old. Learning from my dad. Consistently working on them forever. Now in my late 30s, approaching 40. Some people would say the wrong side of 35. Just recently turned 38. Been doing quite a bit of stuff. Used to do a lot of racing when I was younger. Kind of got out of that because just how expensive it was. Just learned how to work on my own stuff. One, I don't trust a whole lot of mechanics. I never do it to my standard. Plus, never had the money. So it's one of those things, you learn how to do it yourself. Save the money, learn how to do it, and ensure it's done correctly. Plus get to share with you guys all these fun experiences. Two. Snake number 1 out of here. If you can. Got it. There we go. One is out. Let's go on a rescue mission and find number 3. Around. Okay. Retrieve that guy. Okay, so now the fun part. Let's get our tools out of the way here a little bit. Okay. So now, the fun chore, turning this engine over by hand and getting it to top dead center. It's not hard, it's just slightly tricky to do. So let's go ahead and change our camera angle here a little bit. Let's go ahead and get adjusted as much as possible. Okay, so you have no compression now in the engine. We remove the spark plugs, so there's no compression. So you should be able to easily spin this over. What we're going to do is there's a set of timing marks on the front engine cover. It's where you set, you know, basically the timing for the engine. If this was a distributor, you would set the engine top dead center, number 1, and then adjust your distributor accordingly, retime it. On this thing, it's all controlled by the computer. So what we need to do is, if we can see, cover, there's a set of timing marks, which you guys will not be able to see from here, unfortunately. But let's take you into the garage. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go back here. Let's walk in the garage. Hi, Archer. What you doing, big dog? Yeah, what are you doing? Okay. So fortunately we have a spare engine, but this thing is completely kaput. Well, what we're looking for, yeah, high, big talk, high. If this would focus. Okay, so this is the engine, this is the water pump. You'll have your harmonic balancer here. These are all your timing marks, okay? So what you want on the balancer itself, there's a little notch. Sometimes it's labeled or have white paint on it. You're gonna have to manually turn this over and watch that balancer as it comes across, and you want 0. You want that little notch right on 0, okay? You can also verify that by pulling the intake cover off, watch the valves, intake, open, close, turn it, watch the exhaust open, close. You can put your finger in there, you can feel for compression as it's building up. You should start getting to 0, thus being top dead center, basically right before the power stroke on a non-power stroke engine. We'll cover that more in depth on another video, but since time is of the essence today, we don't have that luxury. Okay, so let's see if I can do this by myself, hopefully. So most likely I'm gonna have to get underneath and see if I can do this. I do not believe I can reach it from here. I know for a fact I can do it from the bottom because I've done it before. Let's go ahead and pause because I am going to need a light because I can't even see the timing marks. So bear with me, guys.